Attacks. We all know them. From punch to air, we have obviously your simple punch, where it's probably the first thing you ever rolled. Or we all know. We will be rating these all from order, starting from punch all the way down to our 1 in 5,000 air. Also, this is this video may be outdated because there could possibly be something rarer than air, or could be other auras. So this is when air was the rarest aura in the game. So if it's outdated, don't blame me, I guess. Punch. Our damage is 10, our health is 100, and our speed is 16. Now, it has a cooldown of 0.5 seconds, a ragdoll time of nothing, knockback nothing, resistance nothing. This is commonly just your normal starting, the weakest of them all. But it's not terrible. It's not like, there's nothing really against you, it's just punch. Punch, I would give it just a 1 out of 10. Slap gets the same thing, but just has more damage and has a little more cooldown. 1 out of 10. Laser! Ooh boy, we're already going to a run ender with the bigger auras because, oh boy. We all know this is the bane of your existence when you have Eternal. Damage 60, health 100, speed is 16, cooldown 6 seconds, ragdoll time nothing, knockback nothing, resistance nothing. Laser fires a laser that is pretty visible and requires aiming wherever you are facing is where you're going to fire the laser. This is really good for ending really powerful auras like Hacker, Death, Singularity, Eternal, Error, Time God. Laser is pretty effective, it's just that if you miss, you're kinda done for, and is not effective when you're just being rushed. So I'll give it a 7 out of 10. If you know how to aim it, it can be good. Shockwave. Shockwave isn't that bad. 15 to 25 damage, 110 health, 18 speed, 0.5 second cooldown. Shockwave can fire a small little shockwave that does some damage and also sends your enemies to forces your enemies to sit. It's not that bad of an aura if you consider it, and the only thing is that, again, it just doesn't do too much damage. Rage. Rage can't do any damage on its own, and only has 100 health and 16 speed, can't do anything at all. When it's in rage, it's just 30 damage, 150 health, and 26 speed. It's not that bad, but the wind-up is pretty long, which forces, it to suffer a little bit. Though it does actually, finally, we see some resistance, as we didn't get that with Shockwave, Laser, Slap, or Punch. But that's only for Enrage. For normal, oh, no, nothing. Streak. Phase 1, 15 to 24 damage, 100 to 112 health, 18 to 21 speed, 0.75 second cooldown. Phase 2, we have a little bit better stats. Phase 3, we get even better stats. In Phase 4, we have really good stats. Streak is really good for a quick, powerful aura run, but just requires you to constantly hit, which is what makes this very skill-based and also timing, as if there's nobody near you, that there's nothing you can do. Unfortunately, none of the phases get any resistance whatsoever, but I would give this Rapid Fire. Has some good resistance with 0.5, knockback of 5, ragdoll time is 2, but has a very long cooldown of 7.5 seconds. Does 70 damage, has 125 health, and has 20 speed. Rapid Fire is good, but it's requiring on timing, as for a more powerful aura, it's pretty easy to realize that if you just run right towards them, they're just going to, stun lock you. It's not that bad, but it struggles if you miss. If you miss, just, that's it. That's game. 6 out of 10, because it can be good if you know what to do. Phase. Phase has 25 to 50 damage, 125 health, 18 speed, resistance of 0.25, knockback of 0, ragdoll time of 0, cooldown of 0.5 seconds. Phase is pretty underrated, I gotta say. It's not that bad. It's pretty good, as you can use it to get some damage off, and when you use the ability, it forces whatever user you're hitting to sit, which can be really irritating, and it does a lot of damage. Phase is a good 5 out of 10, as it's pretty decent. It's obviously just not the biggest and best. Nope. Nope, can teleport away to a random location, does 20 damage, 125 health, 20 speed, no resistance, knockback, or ragdoll time, has a cooldown of 0.4 seconds. Nope is alright, it's good for escaping a situation, but it suffers because it has no offensive abilities besides, its defensive ability of just teleporting away, which gives this a 4 out of 10. Party. 60 damage, 135 health, 20 speed, resistance of 0, knockback of 4.5, ragdoll time of 1.5, cooldown of 6. Party does have a wind-up, so it is a little bit harder to, take down a faster aura with, but it does still star in being able to, push back, and it does do decent damage. Party would get around a 5 out of 10. Actually, Party would get around a 6 out of 10 for being able to have some decent knockback as well. Rock. Rock has 50 damage, 150 health, and 20 speed. Cooldown of 4 seconds. Ragdoll time of 2 seconds, knockback of 4, and resistance of 1. Rock can throw a boulder wherever you're facing, as that will do a lot of damage. It's just very hard to actually, land that, since it's pretty easily jukeable. And if you get really close to a rock user, they can't throw the rock at you. Rock stun time does do pretty well, but unfortunately its cooldown is something that struggles. Rock gets a 4 out of 10 for its speed and its cooldown. Ultra Punch! We all know it! We all know it! We all know Ultra Punch. We all know it. The most easy aura that is just the run ender of all the powerful auras. Oh my god. Help me. I really just... Damage 50, health 150, speed is 24, cooldown of 2 seconds, ragdoll time of 2 seconds, and knockback of 6, resistance of 0.5. Ultra Punch is pretty fast, does a lot of knockback, and has some ragdoll time to it as well, and can be the run ender for an aura that you just rolled that is super good, and you lose it because you got Ultra Punched off the edge, and then you just cry. Ultra Punch is really easy to just take out a lot of people with. It can be very aggressive easily. Ultra Punch gets an 8 out of 10 for being able to be aggressive. Randomized. Randomized has very randomized stats. The only thing I can say about this is the only way it's good is if you get something that's like actually, what you want to make it really well and good. It's just a 5 out of 10 because it's random stats. Orbital Strike. Oh, Orbital Strike. Cooldown of 5 seconds, no ragdoll time, no knockback, and 0.25 resistance, 22 speed, and 150 health, and 0 to 125 damage. Can do a lot of damage as you fire a laser beam, but the laser beam doesn't lock on, it's just wherever you click. And if you're good at aiming, then you can trick players into walking into it, as it does take a second to wind up. If you miss, you do absolutely no damage. Orbital Strike gets a 6 out of 10 for it being able to do a lot of damage, but against a powerful aura, it's pretty much useless. Nani, 25 to 75 damage, 160 health, 20 speed, cooldown of 0.5 seconds, ragdoll time of 2 seconds, knockback of 6 with the ability, resistance of 0.5. Nani is really good for countering a powerful aura if you're smart, and if you're smart enough to trick someone into hitting you during the ability, as the ability is basically having a shield on. If you're hit during that before it runs out, they get sent flying with that knockback coming in with the 75 damage. Nani can be really useful, and more powerful auras tend to leave you alone, as it's usually not worth it trying to go after them. 8.5 out of 10 for being a really good counter. Cloned does 40 damage, 175 health, 24 speed, cooldown of 1.5 seconds, ragdoll time of 2 seconds, knockback of 5, and resistance of 0.75. Clones are just basically punch, as when you take someone out and you summon a clone, which can be really helpful. Although the clones, they don't do too much damage themselves, they can still be a great distraction and you can easily overwhelm someone with it. And as for Clone itself, it usually does a good job handling itself as well. Clone can get a 8 out of 10 for being able to overwhelm someone easily. Cyborg, I hate using this aura, and I hate people who are good with this aura. Because, they're so hard to deal with. Oh my god. Damage of 115, health of 175, speed of 22, cooldown of 6 seconds, ragdoll time is nothing, knockback is nothing, resistance is 1. Cyborg fires a laser that doesn't lock on, but it goes where you click, and after a few seconds of clicking and aiming, it'll fire. Cyborg can be really annoying because it does a lot of damage and can easily just take you out in 2 shots, even with Ultra Punch. And with stuff like Punch and stuff, it's a 1-shot. 7 out of 10 because you can still juke the Cyborg and just take them out. Time God. Oh god, this is a lot. Oh, we go into phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, save, phase 6, save, phase 7, 8. Time God can be really good as long as you don't get targeted in phase 1. Then if you get targeted there, it's already just done. The run is done, I'm sorry. But when you start getting to the more powerful phases, you realize that, like, oh boy, you start doing a lot of damage. Just a lot. So much damage. I would give this a 10 out of 10, honestly, because as long as you're not targeted in the first phase, you're good to go, as it can be really useful. 360 no scope. This is not one of my favorites, but it can be really useful if you're good at aiming, as you have to aim your long range shots to be able to do damage. Now, no, 360 no scope is pretty practical and is decent. The only thing it struggles with is if you get too close to the no scope, they can't hit you, basically. 360 no scope gets a 7 out of 10. You know, being good, but just requires a lot of practice and skill to be able to do. Divinity. Divinity is the run ender for Supernova, Time God, Hacker, Death, Singularity, Eternal, Error. Oh, it's just so annoying to deal with. It's a 1 in 500, 125 damage, 200 health, 48 speed, 1 second cooldown, 3 second ragdoll time, knockback of 10, resistance of 2.5, and during the post event it gets a little weaker. Divinity can be really useful for ending a run, and usually is able to hold its ground even during the post event, and is a good 8 out of 10. Supercharged. Supercharged is a huge run ender, does none to 250 damage. Let's look at like Singularity. If Singularity is hit right up by a Supercharged, it's over immediately, even at full health. Supercharged is a really good aura, but you immediately die if you use the ability, and it can be avoided as long as you're far away enough. Supercharged gets a 7 out of 10 for being good, but being counterable. Supernova does 0 to 500 damage. There is no aura in the game that can survive a direct blast of 25 charge, as you charge up by hitting people. Yes, you can do up to 500 damage. The only problem is that they're not really fast with a speed of 24, and with their health of 200, it won't last long, let me tell you that. Not gonna go well. 6 out of 10. I prefer Supercharged over this. It's a little more reliable. Hacker, 125 damage, 200 health, speed of 40, cooldown of 2 seconds, 2.5 second ragdoll time, 7.5 knockback, and 2.5 resistance. Hacker requires you to constantly take out players or else you just die. Hacker is really good, but people can just wait at the lobby for you to not be able to take one out in time and you just die. That's the only problem with Hacker, and it's still just, they will get targeted. Trust me. Obviously Supernova will get, and Divinity might get targeted, but like Hacker, like the 1,000 auras, they get targeted a lot because they're really powerful. So Hacker gets a 6 out of 10, as it's still counterable. Death, a 1 in 1,666. Death is very, very scary to fight against, because it's just, it's everything at once. The only thing about it is that after a certain amount of time, death just stops, and death just, like, you know, like, this aura doesn't last forever. It eventually runs out. So, yeah, that's why it's really powerful. And its 200 damage is basically a one-shot. Its 250 health is pretty big. Its 48 speed is really fast. Its cooldown is pretty decent. Its ragdoll time is amazing. Its knockback is big. Its resistance is alright. And that's not counting the main event in week 1 and week 2. Death gets a 7 out of 10. Because the only thing that keeps it from being really good is that it doesn't last forever. Singularity. Singularity has an ability where if you take out 5 players, then you can do a giant laser beam. And yes, you can store them up to more than 5 kills, don't worry. Singularity's 125 damage is pretty good, and its 250 health is pretty decent. It's 48 speed and cooldown of 1.5 second and 2.5 ragdoll time, 7.5 knockback and 2.5 resistance. It's pretty decent to have. It does pretty well, especially with its laser beam, and also its events last very long, so it stays very powerful for a very long time, and its post-event isn't that bad. Singularity gets a 7 out of 10 for being pretty good, except that the only thing is that you have to take out players to use your ability. Eternal. Okay, this was my first 1 in 1,000. Eternal has with its 250 damage, it's also basically a one-shot. 350 health is a lot. 50 speed is really fast. Cooldown of 1 second. Ragdoll time of 3 seconds. Its knockback of 10. Its resistance of 4. Eternal has an ability to summon meteors from the sky, and naturally does during the main event. And yes, the meteors do damage. They're not visual. And Eternal is a really decent aura, as it's pretty easy to overwhelm another powerful aura if it's rolled by just summoning meteors to protect yourself. Eternal gets a 9 out of 10 for being really good. Error! Oh my god! Error! With its 150 to 250 damage, it's a lot. And health of 350, its speed of 50, its cooldown is 2 seconds, 2.5 ragdoll, 7.5 knockback, 5 resistance. Oh yeah, that's not even the main event. Let's just make it more. Just compare these stats, it's even more. 404 health, the damage doesn't change. The speed is 14 speed more. Everything is just, it's just all. And then the post event it gets a little weaker, but ignore that. Error's ability is literally basically just a one shot. Singularity with full health will be at a sliver of health. Eternal can survive it, but barely. Error gets a really big 10 out of 10 because it's, even after the event into post event, it still has an ability that does basically one shot. This is just my opinion, so if you guys can feel free to tell me in the comments what you think of them. From, oh, this tiny little punch to, oh, wait, to a laser. Come on. Anyways, guys, what the suck?